Hello, I hope you're very well. So this week's video is going to be on the 8 laws of health. You might have noticed there's been a series of posts on these 8 laws, and we called them 8 skin doctors, and I've been trying to put some tips on there for each one for you. So today we're going to have a chat about them, and I want to share with you my favorite author, E.G White, who wrote a book called Ministry of Healing, and that's who actually taught me about the 8 laws of health. Now, keep in mind, her book was written about 150 years ago, and it's a pretty thick book. I'm actually reading it for the second time at the moment this year. I usually reread it once a year. It is probably one of my most inspiring books when it comes to health, both physically and mentally. And we will discuss today the 8 separate doctors. But I want to start by quoting something she wrote in that book. She says, "Disease is an effort of nature to free the system from a condition that results in the violation of these 8 laws of health." So when disease is detected, the unhealthful law has to be corrected. There's no point going ahead and changing or focusing on the symptom if you're not trying to find out what the cause of the problem is. So find the cause and keep chasing on that while you're alleviating the symptom, and long term you're going to get great health. But if we're constantly just hiding the symptoms that we don't like, symptoms are our body's trying to talk to us. So we've got to embrace that and learn what the body's asking for. So she said, when these laws are detected, when you figure out what law you're breaking, or more than one, nature is to be assisted in healing the body. So this quote I can't memorize because it's a little bit too long, so we're going to read it together. So this is also in Ministry of Healing, page 127. It says, pure air, so that's our first law. Sunlight, our second law. Abstemiousness, now that also is the same word for temperance, so we usually use them interchangeably. Temperance stumps some people, so all that means is being intemperate, which means moderation of that which is good for us, and abstaining from that which is harmful for us. So we know we live in a very stimulated world, and stimulants that are going to harm us are kind of like your alcohols, your caffeinated beverages, your processed food, your chemical laced food. So it's teaching us about, keep away from that and do moderation of that which is good, and you'll have great health. She says rest, we all know sleep is a key doctor, exercise, proper diet, the use of water, trust in divine power. She says these are the true remedies. Every person should have a knowledge of nature's remedies, remedial agencies, and how to apply them. It is essential both to understand the principles involved in the treatment of the sick and to have a practical training in the will enable one rightly to use this knowledge. So we need to understand how our body works and how to use it. If we don't know how to use it, it's not much help, is it? So the use of natural remedies requires an amount of care and effort that many are not willing to give. So not everyone spends a lot of time learning about their body, but we don't need to be an expert. We just need to have some basic understanding of these natural remedies. Nature's processes of healing and upbuilding is gradual, and to the impatient it seems slow. We live in a little bit of an impatient world, I'm noticing, and when you are rebuilding root causes and you are addressing this, it can feel a little bit slow. But I promise you it's a lot quicker than getting super sick down the track, and it's a lot quicker than the time it took you breaking these laws and bad habits. So it's going to be quicker than all those years you did that for. So this surrender of hurtful indulgences requires sacrifice. So it does require some sacrifice. It's not easy. If it was easy, everyone would have amazing health. But in the end, it will be found that nature, untamed, does her work wisely and well. Those who preserve in obedience to her laws will reap the rewards in health of body and health of mind. So it's not just one, it is they talk to each other, they're interchangeable. So that's That's fantastic. What a great reward to have a healthy body and a healthy mind. Too little attention is generally given to the preservation of health. It is far better to prevent disease than to know how to treat it when contracted. So prevention, I think most of us would agree, would be better than waiting for that crisis to hit. But in what I've observed, it often takes a crisis until someone is willing to make better choices for their health. It's sad, but very true. It is the duty of every person, for his own sake and for the sake of humanity, to inform himself in regard to the laws of life and consciously to obey them. So we not only benefit ourselves from having a healthy body, we benefit because we're a better person to everyone around us. All need to become acquainted with that most wonderful of all organisms, the human body. They should understand the function of the various organs and the dependence of one upon another to the healthy action of all. They should study the influence of the mind upon the body and the body upon the mind and the laws by which they are governed. It's an incredible statement because she wrote this before we had the science to show, hey, this is what the microbes do to your mind, and this is what your mind does to your skin, and this is what your microbes in your gut do to your skin. We know they're all connected, and one does affect the whole chain. The human body is this amazing network of systems, and they work as a team, and there is absolutely amazing sacrifice with these systems. So when we're going to go through these 8 laws quickly, when we are sacrificing one law, other systems come in and counterbalance, but eventually it gets a bit much, so it starts screaming in symptoms. So we want to learn, what are we doing wrong and how can I fix it? So the first law is air. So we encourage people to make sure that they are taking nice nasal breathing. We're trying to breathe through our nose to turn on the right system in the body and get more oxygen exchange into the body. We also make sure when we sleep, we want a little bit of fresh air in the bedroom, so we want to have a crack in the window. We want to think about, am I more of a mouth breather? Can I tape my mouth when I sleep? What can I do to help get more oxygen exchange? How do I train? How do I exercise? Do I do some HIIT training? Do I get my lungs moving? Sunshine should never be feared for. It is a fantastic part of health. We wouldn't be here if we didn't have the sun. However, it needs to be respected. There is times to be exposing our skin to the sun, and when we get exposure, we need to put the vitamins that our skin's made of, the vitamin A stores, back in so that bank account stays stable and we don't get the deficiency in the skin. We need to know how to shield it correctly, but also to know that artificial light, in my opinion, is a lot more dangerous. Temperance. Yes, this law debate I think would change everyone's life. So if we stop taking things into the body that were harmful for it, that would solve a lot of problems, I think. And then moderation of that, which is good. We need to make sure we're sleeping in those hours of power between 10 p.m. and 3 a.m. We want to be recovering the body at that time. It works on a clock, like it or not, you work on this particular clock. And if you're in a deep sleep, you're going to get a lot more health benefits. Exercise, we want to make sure that we're moving our body every day, especially if you have a sitting job. We want to get those bodies moving. If you don't use it, you lose it. Proper diet. Yeah, eating real food is a good thing, and making sure we're not putting the heaviest meal in just before sleep. Our body does a lot better if we've got the food earlier in the day. Then when you go to sleep, your body can heal. It's not busy breaking down food. Hydration, making sure we're using, I put a post back a little bit about Celtic salt. So using the Celtic salt to aid as an electrolyte, making sure we're hydrated between meals, not with meals. And when we first wake up in the morning, our body's quite dehydrated. So we're doing our salt and our water and helping get that beautiful hydration back in. You need 6 cups of water drunken yesterday to help make enough hyaluronic acid for your stomach to break down your food today. Yeah, just one little trick. One little reason we need water. There is a book called The Body's Many Cries of Water. I think it's a fantastic book. So if you need some motivation, read that one. Trust. I wrote a post on this just recently, the difference between trust and fear and how much that plays a role in our health. It's huge, especially in today's age. So feel free to have a look at the resources I put on there as well. It's quite a few books. So these are the true remedies, and when they are applied, I always am going through these checklists, and that's why I'm sharing them with you, because you can also become your own practitioner and help your own body and go, okay, am I sleeping? Am I getting fresh air today? Am I getting movement in? Am I getting my water in? Am I eating real food? Am I eating regular meals at the right time of the day? Where's my mindset at? Am I worrying? Am I focusing on the future, or am I getting a lot more gratitude and presence? Am I focusing on today? So these are the 8 laws of health, and I hope they're helpful. I hope they inspire you as they inspire me. And if you have any questions or comments, feel free to write them below. Otherwise, I wish you have a fantastic day, and I will talk to you soon. Bye for now.